session to look at what is it that we are going to be putting together for the school to ensure the success of our children. So we have actually gone ahead to now, we are now streaming live on YouTube, and this is to expand the reach of the communication to ensure that wherever you are, you're able to access the information that we will be sharing with you. In addition to that, if you are at work or en route to somewhere and you may have missed portion of the meeting, you can always go back on YouTube and you can get the information. So we're streaming live. We can still accommodate some more persons on the platform. So those who are yet to join, you can join. And if you want to join via YouTube, then that is fine as well. I want to just recognize the leadership of the school, our vice principals, Mrs. Simpson and Mrs. Maxwell Harvey, the grade coordinators, grade 1 through to grade 6, our guidance counselors, and teachers who are here on the platform, and you parents. I want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. So I'm saying welcome, but I would allow somebody who's much more able to do so. Mrs. Tucker, are you on? Ms. Thomas, can you find Mrs. Tucker?
Yes, sir, she's here.
Okay. All right, great. So I will have Mrs. Tucker do the official welcome. Mrs. Tucker is one of our teachers and senior teachers at grade 4. So Mrs. Tucker will do the official welcome and the introductions. Oh, there she is.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. It is a true pleasure for me to welcome you to another PTA meeting. In fact, our first for the year 2022. So I must use this medium to extend well wishes to you for this new year. We are very grateful to you, our parents, for taking time off from your very busy schedule to attend this important conference session. And so I extend a warm welcome to you, our parents. We also have our dedicated teachers here online with us this afternoon. Colleagues, I want to recognize your presence and extend a special welcome to you as well. It is also an honor to welcome the school's administrative team, led by our principal, Mr. Trevor Cole, and his deputies, Vice Principal Chelsea Simpson and Vice Principal Latoya Maxwell Harvey. We are delighted to have you with us. Our guidance counselors, Shanine Grant Gray and Jadane Thomas, we acknowledge your presence and extend a warm welcome to you both. We also want to recognize members of the PTA body, led by President Mr. Stanford Davis. I extend greetings and a special welcome to you. We have all made efforts behind the success of our school because only by working together we will achieve. Let us continue to work together to achieve greater success here at St. Ansby Primary School. Blessings for 2022. Have a wonderful afternoon and please feel welcomed to our meeting. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Tucker. Parents, just type in the chat if you feel welcome, and teachers, because I'm sure I feel welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So parents, we are going to get going. Oh, yes. Somebody said yes. Of course. Yes. Yes. That was nice. Great. So the proposed date for the face-to-face resumption of school is January 10, 2022. This we would have communicated with you before. Prior to the Christmas holidays, we would have sent a correspondent home indicating our intentions for the process to begin for returning our students to school. I want to share with you, parents, that we have been working behind the scenes to have the facility prepared and ready. Our teachers have been working to put their plans in place for the delivery of the curriculum. And we have been working closely with the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health to ensure that the protocols are established and implemented for the safe return of our students. So we are guided by the Ministry of Education in terms of their guidelines for reopening. One of the things that is required of us as an institution is to have the institution inspected by the Ministry of Health. I can report to you in this setting that our school has gone through that process. We have facilitated the Ministry of Health for the inspection, and our school has been certified to be in a satisfactory state for reopening. So that is one of the requirements by the Ministry of Education, that the school has to be inspected, certified, approved by the Ministry of Health. So we have that. Another important aspect of the preparation is the consultation exercise, sensitization consultation exercise. Now, internally, we would have started that process already in terms of the staff, the planning, the coordinating between the Ministry of Education and the school, our PTA, and we are now engaging you, which we would have started already in terms of formal communication. So the school is pretty much advanced in terms of its plans for reopening. And we are comfortable at this point that we have done sufficient work to be able to welcome our students and teachers back into the physical space. Our school is tremendously blessed. We continue to benefit from partnerships, sorry, whether locally or internationally, that have yielded, results for our students. When our students return, they will see that in their classrooms, we have changed out some of the furniture, because we have benefited from furniture from Food for the Poor, who was able to donate 2 40-foot containers of furniture to our school. So seating capacity is not a problem for us at the school. As a matter of fact, at this point, we have more than enough that we can use. And we are going to be extending what we have to other schools, because we have been blessed by someone. So strategically, in terms of what is required, whether it's documentation, whether it's about getting the physical plant ready, I can report to you, parents, that we are very much advanced where this is concerned. So what we want to share with you now is how we're going to be proceeding in terms of welcoming our students and teachers in a safe way, which is very, very important. So the date is the 10th of January, and the school day is proposed to be starting at 8:30 and will end at 2:30. So you want to make note of that. me just make some adjustment here, just to ensure that we're able to. Right. So the school day will be for face-to-face starting at 8:30 and will end at 2:30. And lunch and break periods will be organized throughout the period. So in terms of our curriculum model or delivery, we will be utilizing what is called the mixed modality or hybrid approach. There will be face-to-face classes for selected grades from Monday to Thursday. And on Friday, sorry, all our students will be facilitated online. So let me repeat that. Face-to-face instruction will be facilitated for selected grades from Monday to Thursday of each week. And then on a Friday, all our students will be facilitated online using either the synchronous or asynchronous modality. So I started to share this information with you that we are not ending online school. So the online classes will continue because, as you are aware, we will not be able to accommodate all our students in the space at the same time. So the online time will remain 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then the face-to-face class time is from 8:30 to 2:30, Monday to Thursday, and then online we will have students on Friday. We are proposing a rotational model, and this is key to the conversation. The first week is January 10, Monday, January 10. And what we are proposing is to have 2 grades coming to school on a constant basis for that particular week. And then the other grades will be integrated. So as you are seeing on screen, the week of January 10 to 14, we will have grades 5 and 6 coming in to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, along with grade 1, who will be coming in on Monday and Tuesday, and on Wednesday and Thursday, we will have grade 2, and then there will be a rotation. So I'm going to be sharing a little bit more with you where that is concerned. So this is going to be what is going to take place for the first week of school. The other grades that are not projected on screen, those grades will continue online for that week. For the second week of January, that is the week of the 17th to the 21st, grade 5 and 6 will continue to be at school for the 4 days, and grade 3 will come in Monday and Tuesday. Grade 4 will come in Wednesday and Thursday of that week. So by the end of that 2-week period, we would have all our grades coming into school for face-to-face instruction. Right? So that's a 2-week span that we have provided. However, it is important to note that grades 5 and 6, they would be at school every day for 4 days for the 2 weeks that I would have shared with you. So let me just give you a further breakdown to help with the understanding of what I am proposing. sure what is happening to this now. Okay. All right, great. All right. So you will see, as I was sharing earlier in the presentation, that for the first week of January, that's our first face-to-face week, the 10th to the 14th, we will have grade 5 and 6 coming in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But on a Monday and a Tuesday, we will have only grade 1. And then Wednesday and Thursday of that week, we will have grade 2. Now, if you look closely, you will see that it is a grade 5A, grade 6A, grade 1A, grade 5B, and so on. This is important. What will happen, parents, is that our teachers will be sharing the class list with you, and your child will be placed in a particular group. So it's either a group A or a group B. If the child is placed in group A, then the particular day that that person should be at school is outlined. So this document that I am projecting now on screen, we will share it with you so that you can use it as a general guide. So say, for example, Miss Thomas is in group A and she is in grade 5. So she will come to school on Monday and on Wednesday of that week. She will stay home on Tuesday and Thursday of that week and will be engaged throughout that period online. And that is the general flow that will happen for the other grades. So we have also gone a little further, parents, to look at how we can increase the face-to-face instructional time. So we have looked at the month of January to see if we can maximize the face-to-face time for grade 5 and grade 6, given that they have their PEP exams coming up, especially grade 6, who has exams starting next month in February. So we want to make sure that we give them enough time to be at school, to interact with their teachers, and to benefit from the instruction. So for the month of January, you would see that grade 6 and grade 5, they are listed for every day. When we go over into February, we are proposing a slight change. So where grade 5 was a constant for that month, that will change. So we will have another grade being constant with grade 6, because we want to make sure that grade 6 gets enough time to prepare for the exam. And we're also creating the balance for the other grades to ensure that they are also benefiting from increased instructional face-to-face time. So we are also proposing for the month of February to include grade 1 as a constant. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, from the 7th of February, we will start to have grade 1 with grade 6 coming to school every day, Monday to Thursday. And then on Friday, as I would have explained, that all the students will be working from home. So for this purpose, we are sharing these 2 months going into March with you. And then what we will do is to make further adjustments for the month of March going down to the end of the term. So we believe that we have enough information now in terms of what will happen for January, what will happen for February going into March, that you can use, parents, as a means to prepare yourself and to prepare the children for face-to-face school. Very, very important. So I will share the schedule. The schedule will be shared with you, and then the teachers will also share the class list with you, indicating which group your child is in, and then you can go ahead and make the appropriate adjustments. Now, let me just switch from this a little, and when you have your questions or so, we'll take them at a point in the session. So as outlined by the Ministry of Health, we have to ensure that appropriate spacing is within the classroom. And so we have designed the classroom space to accommodate no more than 17 students. Hence the reason to have a group 1 or group 2 or group A or group B. So in our classrooms, we will have no more than 17 students in that space with their teachers. The protocols are going to be important. Protocols for students, staff, persons who are seeking access to the property. Once you approach the gates, you will be required to put on your mask. So wearing a mask is going to be mandatory for all, including students, teachers, and other persons on the property. The mask should be worn at all times while on the property. For the children, we will be creating what we call unmasking periods. So the teachers will organize at their class level for the students to go outside at special times to remove their mask, to have fresh air, and so on. The temperature for all persons seeking access to the property will be taken. We are, however, changing the approach for our children. What will happen is that once the children turn up at the gate, the marshal will take their temperature, and if their temperature is within the acceptable range, they will be permitted to move on to their classes. Once the students get to their class, the teachers will take their temperatures again, and it's at that point that their temperature will be recorded and logged. And throughout the day, whether it's 2 or 3 other time, their temperatures will be checked as a means of monitoring. So the clearance will be given at the gate. So if the child turns up and there is an elevated temperature, access will be denied, or the child will be placed in an isolation space, and the parent is contacted to retrieve the child, take the child to the doctor, or take the child home. So the temperature is going to be taken there, and then the students will proceed from the gate directly to their classes, and their teachers will welcome them, take their temperature, and that information will be logged. For the staff, that will be the same in terms of their temperature being taken at the gate, but it is at the gate that the staff, their temperature will be recorded as is required. The screening process is going to be as rigid as possible. We will treat everybody as though they have contracted the virus. So the wearing of the mask, we will ensure that sanitizing is done. The desk and the high touch areas within the school, those are going to be sanitized periodically. We are also asking parents that you provide the children with additional face covering mask, an extra 1 or 2, a bottle of sanitizer, small one, and a pack of wipes in their bag, so that they can have to use throughout the day. We have some dispensers, but we don't have enough to place at every corner of the school. But we have some that the students can utilize. But it is okay for the children to take their own sanitizer, take their own wipes, their masks, to ensure that they are taking care of themselves, and by doing so, protecting others. Our bathrooms will be manned. We will have someone placed at the bathroom who will supervise the children, ensure that they get their tissue and things that they need, they wash up after use, and that the space is clean for the next person who wants to use the bathroom. Classrooms, as I said, will be sanitized periodically, and we will operate in a sort of bubble. So each teacher will manage his or her students so that we minimize the interaction as best as possible. It is important, parents, that as we talk about the entry protocols, we talk about the end of the school day. So the school day ends at 2:30 when the students will be there. We are encouraging you to make every effort to pick up the children on time. When that does not happen, it allows for additional interaction. And that is where quite likely children are going to be exchanging things. They may start to play and to touch and so on. And we don't want that to happen. So it is important that arrangements are put in place for the students to be picked up at 2:30 when school ends. In terms of supplies, I know that I don't need to spend much time on that each child who enters the school should have his or her own supplies. No sharing of pencil, no erasers. They should have their supplies to facilitate their learning. We will not encourage at this point the exchange of tools, pencil, erasers, and so on. So please ensure that your child has the requisite tools needed. The uniform, I know you will ask about uniform. So uniform is required. We are starting school. School is starting in terms of face-to-face, so our students are to be properly attired for school in their uniforms. If you are having issues or concerns, read the uniform. I'm asking that you reach out directly to your child's teacher, and you will be guided where that is concerned. But we are expecting that our students are going to be properly attired for school in their uniform coming on Monday. Lunch, we will not be doing cooked meals for this first week or maybe for the first few weeks. However, we will have our tuck shop open so that the students can have snacks and juices and so on. It is okay if you want to pack fruits and other things for your children. That is okay for them to take. But we will not have cooked meal, the chicken and chips and so on that they're accustomed. We will not have that for the first week or so. They will have patties, bun and cheese, and other filling snacks that they can have throughout the day. The lunch period is going to be staggered. So we will have 18 sets of students on the property each day. And so the lunch period is going to be staggered so as to minimize the interaction on the outside. Sorry. So no, we will not have all the children out for lunch or for break. So that is going to be organized at a class level, grade level, to ensure that we minimize the interactions. For students who are on the PATH program, in consultation with my counselors, we have decided not to start the program Monday or Tuesday. So we're trying to put things in place to have lunch being prepared for the students starting Wednesday. As you can appreciate, we are still working through some of the finer details and preparations. All things being equal, we should be able to start providing those students on the PATH program with lunch on Wednesday. If you have any concerns or, or questions regarding the PATH program, our counselors, Ms. Thomas and Mrs. Gray, they are willing to facilitate you and to answer your questions. Social distancing, yes, it's going to be difficult for us parents because the children have not seen each other for such a long time, but we will try our best. We have had groups of students at school before, so it's not new to us. Our posture is to ensure that we are consistent. We are consistent in what we're doing and to be vigilant to ensure that we monitor the children carefully to make sure that they are wearing their mask and we limit the interaction. Once they are in their classroom with their teachers, then it's a little bit easier. The challenge is when they are on the outside. So we will have markers on the outside, even to go to the tuck shop, which is spaced so that persons are not gathered and bundled. And we will continue as a staff to work with the children to monitor them to ensure that we are following the appropriate protocols. We did talk about the temperature checks already and how we are going to be proceeding in terms of material and their personal belongings and so forth. All right. So I think I have shared enough with you in terms of the general plan. 45 minutes into our session. So I will take the questions and then we can refine the plan as we go forward, given what you have heard. So Ms. Thomas is going to be helping and Mrs. Perkins. Mrs. Perkins.
Yes, sir.
And Mrs. Simpson. I see Mrs. Simpson, our vice principal. So let us take Mrs. Simpson, because I think I may have missed a few things. Vice principal, go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Cole. Parents and teachers, good afternoon to you. Parents, a happy, blessed, prosperous new year to you. I wish you all of God's blessings as you go through this year. Let me also welcome you to our meeting. And let me encourage you, parents. We are going through a rough time, but you show us that you have determination and grit. We are here to work with you. I'm not sure if Mr. Cole, I didn't hear Mr. Cole talk about the dismissal time. Yes, this dismissal time was mentioned, but I want to reinforce to you, parent, that after 2:30 dismissal, we can't have children on the compound for half an hour, 1 hour after, because as soon as dismissal is over, we will have to start sanitizing the classrooms, the compound, the eye touch areas. We have to sanitize the evening in preparation for the next day. So it is important that you make all the plans to receive your child at 2:30. And I know some of you are working and you leave work maybe 4 o'clock or 4:30. Please make arrangement for somebody to pick up your child, because at 2:30, we won't have the time to monitor your child and to ensure that they are being protected from coronavirus, because we will be focusing on sanitizing the entire compound. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Simpson. Mrs. Harvey, you're there? We could go ahead in the meantime. Ms. Thomas, I think we have a few persons with their hands raised.
Yes, sir. I see Natalia Blake, and we also have some questions in the chat on YouTube and here on Zoom.
All right, so you can direct the questions.
I'll take Natalia Blake since her hand has been up for some time.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year to you all.
Hey, good afternoon.
My question is, I know Mrs. Simpson had stated that 2:30 is the
end of school
time for pickup. Yes, end of school and pickup. But what I was saying before is I leave school at work at 2:30, 2:40 thereabout in Runaway Bay. So I was saying if we can get a leave a half hour max to come and pick up my daughter on the day, because you know, kind of difficult right now to sort out a ride and knowing that we're not too long go back to work. So I was just asking that question.
Natalia, that's a difficult one, because if we are going to be extending the courtesy to you, then we have to do that for everybody. And the truth is that we do not have the capacity at this point to accommodate the students at the end of school. I should have shared with you, parents, that we have actually taken out 6 classrooms out of commission because of some defects that we have observed. And we have just, in partnership with the ministry, installed 2 tents at the front of the school to use as a sort of holding space in the event that it is raining or so. And so our capacity to accommodate a large group of students outside of the supervised time is very, 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 very challenging. So what I'd have to ask you to do is to try to see if you could make some other arrangements, because we wouldn't be able to guarantee that that time period, because it's a lot that has to be done. The manpower in terms has to be shifted to other areas to prepare the spaces for the next day. So that's going to be a challenging one. So I would recommend that you try to find an alternative. Try to find maybe somebody who can assist you, the child to go to or pick up for you at that particular time. All right, Ms. Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Glennalee Mayer is next.
Mayor, go ahead.
Hi, my daughter is in grade 2, and what I was saying, you said they'll be coming in 2 days, Wednesdays and Thursdays. What I'm really concerned is about who will be teaching them. Say, for instance, my daughter come in Wednesday, who will be teaching them on Thursday, since the teacher will be having another group on Thursday?
Okay, great. Good question. So remember now, Glendalee, that the class has been divided in 2, right? And so those students who are not going to be at school physically, they will have to report for school virtually. So they will log on to the Google Classroom at 8 o'clock. Activities will be posted there. They will be required to sign the register to show that they are there, and the activities will be there for them to complete during that period of time. What will happen is that when the students report for school, the teachers are going to be maximizing that day. So a lot of what needs to be taught in terms of the concrete content will be done for the face-to-face, and we will allow the students to do significant part of the reinforcement and the activities while they are at home. So even though they are not physically at school, they will have more than enough activities to do at home online. So that is the model that we are going to be using. So it is a mix of online and face-to-face that we are employing. Glendalee?
So basically you're saying on Wednesday, the children at home, group B will be doing fractions online, while group A at school will be doing fractions. And on Thursday, group A will be doing fractions online, group B will be doing it in class. So they'll be learning the same thing.
Well, technically, that's what is going to happen. Glendalee? I'm not sure. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Understood.
Okay, good. Right. So the approach is to ensure that even if the students are not at school physically, they are engaged. right? They are engaged. And that is an important question that you asked, and I want to reinforce that. So even if the students are not physically with their teachers, they are still at school, and the activities that are posted should be completed. Very, very important. So thank you so much, Brenda Lee. I'm sure that it would clear up a lot of the misunderstanding for a number of persons. All right, thank you. Who is next, Ms. Thomas, or are you taking a question from YouTube or the chat?
Yes, sir. I'm taking the questions from YouTube.
Yeah.
Both of the questions have to do with wearing masks all the time. They're asking about unmasking, which was mentioned earlier. So could you please repeat that for those persons who did not hear?
Right. Well, thank you. So once you enter the property, you will be required to wear a mask. However, each teacher will organize his or her class in such a way to allow the students to go outside to unmask. So they will have their protocols, their class protocols or class rules to allow the students to go outside, get some fresh air, and to get back in this space, because that is important. And this is also applicable to the teachers as well, that they can't be wearing their mask for the entire period of time. So at some point, they will have to maybe step on the outside to remove their mask to get some fresh air. But wearing of the mask is going to be a requirement for everybody.
There is a question. Yes, sir. There's another question in the chat.
Yes.
On Zoom. What about the students who won't be at face-to-face school due to underlying illness?
Students who, good question. Students who have underlying illnesses, very good question. We want to place on record now that you are required parents to submit a medical certificate from your doctor indicating this, and then the exemptions will be provided. So if your child is ill and medically it is recommended that the child not be in the physical space, then once we have the letter from the medical practitioner to support that, then the exemptions will be provided. So once you present that letter, the medical certificate from the doctor that your child is not well and should stay at home, then we will act accordingly where that is concerned. Outside of that, the children are required to be at school.
We're going back to the persons who have raised hands.
Okay.
I see Tawana.
Okay, hey Tawana, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, I had a question, but I was about to pose a question, but I heard it being answered.
Okay, great.
But the question was, I still want to pose it.
Okay. It may help somebody. Go ahead.
I am really feeling uncomfortable, sending my child to school, to be honest with you, because of the virus and so on.
Understand.
She's in grade 4, so I wanted to know, as a parent, if I decide if I want to be exempt for a while, how is that possible? How could that be done?
So yeah, so I just you can't just exempt your child, right? We don't want you to do that. So we want to be guided by the medical person. So the doctor, so take your child to the doctor, and the doctor will indicate whether or not. But I know that there are anxieties, right? I know that. It happens to me. My teachers feel the same way, just being uncertain, because we don't know. This is a new thing that we are operating with. And that is why it is important that as a school, we try to do as much as we possibly can for the safe return of the children. So it's not going to be easy, but I want you to take confidence that we have worked really hard. The staff has worked really hard to put things in place. And we do not want to have any breaches. But yes, the anxiety and the uncertainty, it's still there. It's still there. You know, I go about my business just the same, but I put on my mask, you know, I sanitize my hands, alcohol and all of that. So it's a way of the world now, and we want to be safe, and we're going to be putting everything in place to be safe, or as much as possible to be safe. But if the child is not ill, you know, send the child to school. They have missed out on just too much. It's time for them to come back to school. If medically the doctor says no, then we will accept that. All right?
Okay, and she's a thumb sucker, that just makes it even worse.
She's a?
She sucks her thumb, you know, so that's
so you have to work on that. You have to work on that. You have to work on that. All right. Thank you so much for your question. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Next person, Ms. Thomas.
The next person is Jason.
Yes. Jason, go ahead.
Hi, good evening.
Yes. Could you turn up your volume a little, Jason?
All right, you hear me clearer?
Yeah. Could you touch the volume up a little? Yeah.
Hear me clear?
Yeah, go ahead now, Jason.
All right, so question. So what for group A and B when they go to school, is the teacher going to stream the same thing to the students, as in if A is at school and B is at home? Is she going to stream with B at home, same as she's teaching A at school?
That's a good question, Jason. But we may not be able to do that because of internet connectivity issues. You have to have very strong, stable internet to be able to do that. And that's an issue for almost the entire country. So that is why we have looked at how we are going to be delivering the curriculum to ensure that on the day when the children are at school, the teachers give maximum, right? And you can realize too, based on the proposal, that the school day for face-to-face is longer, right? So we start at 8:30 and we end at 2:30. So the teachers will have more time with the children to cement certain concepts and to ensure that they learn the essential. When they are at home, then they have a lot of reinforcement activities to do. But we can't guarantee that the teachers will be able to stream what is happening in class so that those at home can see simultaneously, because internet connectivity is a real challenge right across the country. Okay, Jason? All right, I think we have lost Jason, but I hope you heard me, Jason. Next person, Ms. Thomas.
Christina Buchanan.
All right, Christina, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. My concern is
Yes.
regarding the pickup for the students, right? You said
Right.
that you dismissing at a particular time and that you want for them to be picked up at that time. However, my concern would be regarding how would you go about dismissing the students? Would it be a case where they will be held back in class until their designated driver or their parent or whomever it is that will be picking them up get to the school? Or is it that you will release them on compound where they can go about with each other until the person gets there? What procedure is there in place for pickup of the students?
Thank you. Very good question. So if you look at the proposal, we are starting with the more senior students. So grade 5 and grade 6. And we are integrating grade 1 as well. So the dismissal is normally organized in a staggered way. So yes, the teachers know that we will end at 2:30, right? But leading up to 2:30, different classes will be exited. And especially for our smaller children, grade 1 up to grade 3, and even grade 4, 5, and 6, we would have the students exit their classroom in a line, and they are taken to the gate by their teachers. And it is at that point that the students are released into the custody of the parents who are there waiting for them. For the bigger ones who they may have to walk by themselves or to go and take taxi, they can do so. But our general mode of operation is to allow the students to form a line, and they are taken to the gate by their teachers, and they are placed in the custody of their of the parents, or they are released to go to their taxi or to walk home. Okay. Ms. Thomas, can we move on? We see we have some more questions. I hope you heard that and I answered your question.
Okay, next person, Kada,
Yeah.
you can go ahead.
Oh, Kada, go ahead, Kada. Kada? Could you unmute Kada? And I want to thank Mrs. Tucker and our other teachers who are also responding to some of the questions in the chat. So parents, if you don't get a chance to ask your question verbally, you post it in the chat, and there are persons there who are assisting to respond as well. Sorry. All right, go ahead, Janet Taylor, go ahead. Janet, we're not hearing you.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Yes, Janet, good afternoon.
All right. My question is, all right, we have the problem with the mask. Why, since when they will be in the class, they will be socially distant,
Yes.
why they don't let them wear face shield at that time as well?
We're not, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So they wouldn't have to keep on the mask all the time. When they're in class, they maybe lower the mask or remove the mask and have the face shield, because if they have to speak at that time, they will be, distant. So that should help, instead of you having to let them out to go outside to breathe and return to class.
Yeah. That's a good suggestion, Janet. I'm not sure how accessible the face shields are for everybody. I think everybody, I can safely say that everybody has a mask. So if our children have face shields, we will facilitate them, right? But I can't say majority or most of the children would have. But if they have their face shield, they can wear it, and they will be facilitated just the same. They will be facilitated. But that's a good suggestion, especially while they're in that space where they are interacting with their teacher and they have to answer questions and so forth. So if they have their face shields, allow them to wear. All right, thank you, Janet. I think it is Lamoy. Lamoy, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Cole, good night. Good night, everyone.
Hi, how are you?
We normally pay sanitation, but what I want to know, does the sanitation fee remain the same, or is it being reducted, or how we go about it now?
Or is it being what? Deducted?
No, is it being reducted, or is it the same?
I think I should ask you for some more. No. Thank you for raising that. We do need that financial support. We needed financial support of the sanitation. The arrangements are still the same. We have not increased it. It is still $2,000 for the year, $10 per day. $10 per day. We have gone past a term. But with our students coming in, we're going to need more to buy alcohol and sanitizer and more tissue and paper towel and so on. So we're encouraging that you make that contribution. When you come to school, you take your child, you can take the money with you, or you can just place it in an envelope or piece of paper, wrap it, and you can give it to your child to hand it to your child's teacher. And it will be receipted, and we will certainly acknowledge it as well. So thank you so much, Lamoy, for that. But it is necessary. You hear? Very necessary.
Sir,
yes,
yes,
go ahead.
sir. A question from the chat, but before I ask this question, I want to go back to the previous question about the face shield. I just want to point out that it is not advised that the face shield alone be worn, just for clarity, because it doesn't provide adequate protection, but it is to be used as added protection. Okay, so this question says, how about the vaccination of staff or regular testing, seeing that persons are asymptomatic?
Oh, great. So I can say that majority of my staff is vaccinated. I don't have 100%, but majority of my staff is vaccinated. And you are aware that the vaccine is not mandatory, but the take-up from the staff is good thus far. And that is why the protocols are still going to be enforced for persons to wear their mask, to, ensure that there's physical distance, and that frequent sanitizing is done. Yes, Ms. Thomas?
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
I was having a challenge. Sorry about that, sir. Technical challenges.
That's fine.
One parent was asking about walking her child to school, to the class rather, on the first day.
We want to avoid that as much as possible. Not that it won't be facilitated for special cases, but if we were to allow all our parents to do that, then we're going to have much more persons on the property than is really required. And I'm sure the parents can understand that. But if there is a special case or situation, and a parent has to accompany the child, then we will look at that based on the merit of it. But the students are going to be in good hands. You'll take them to the gate, and we will ensure that they get to their classroom spaces, so that they can be facilitated by their teachers.
Yes, sir. There is a question about the uniforms, what is appropriate for wear. I think some persons came in late.
Okay. So we did speak about the uniform, parents, that it is uniform for school. And we also indicated that if you are having challenges with the uniform, then you speak directly to your child's teacher, right? About the uniform concern that you have. But yes, the student should be dressed in their uniform, properly attired for school. That's the expectation.
Persons are also asking about the day for their students, the children, to come back to school. I don't think some of them saw the schedule that was shared.
Okay, so parents, the schedule will be shared with you. Let me just quickly pull it up. The schedule will be shared with you. So you'll have it in your WhatsApp so that you can make reference to it from time to time. All right. And as I said, we have placed 2 months on it, January, February, to the end there. So, and then we will update it for March, April going forward. But this document with the schedule, which group comes in, which day, will be available to you in your WhatsApp so that you can have for your planning. All right. And you will also get the class list from your teachers.
Yes, sir. Marvin Johnson is next.
All right, Marvin, go ahead. Go ahead, Marvin.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cole.
Yes, sir.
I didn't get to see this schedule when but my daughter is in grade 6.
All right.
I think like how they are having exams next month. I was wondering if you know, you could give more time for the grade 6 students, knowing that a lot of them couldn't get enough connection during the September to December phase, just so they can come in more often before the February exam to try to catch on.
Yeah.
And what some of them miss. That
is what has been done, Marvin. We have done that. So when you see the schedule, because I shared it before and I shared it a while ago, you will see that grade 6, and we did speak to it, that grade 6, we have scheduled maximum time, face-to-face time for grade 6. So they will be at school full time.
Okay, sir.
All right. So when you see the schedule again, you will see. So grade 6 will be there full time. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, man. So we're thinking the same way. Good.
All right.
Yeah, man. Kishon, go ahead, Kishon. And I'm trying to answer as many persons as possible.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, friends. I have a concern. What if the child have a brother or a sister in the upper grade and that child is in the lower grade, like grade 1 or 2, which may cause like the child will in group 2 then, right? Can that child in the lower grade wait on his or her brother when school dismissed, because they're going to live in the same home?
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if the child can
answer is yes.
The
answer is yes. The answer is yes.
Okay, so that child can wait on his or her brother.
Answer is yes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we said I want thing, Monica, and can.
All right. Thank you, Kishon, for that. Ms. Thomas.
Chrisanique Lawrence is next.
All right, go ahead. Kishanique. Are you there?
Hello?
Yes, we're here. Go
Good
ahead.
afternoon. You hearing me?
Clear, loud and clear.
Okay, good afternoon again.
Yes.
My concern is my daughter is Chrisanique Lawrence.
Yes.
And she at times she have an allergy where our sinus act up at times. And I'm preparing for her to wear the mask and a face shield, and then give her the medication, and also with wipes and so forth. The school, is that okay?
That
with
is
the medication?
That's perfect. Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, man, you're welcome. I love that. I love that kind of preparation. Great.
Because at times I would have just asked the teacher, whosoever have her, to persist that she take the medication as soon as she act up.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes.
Thank you.
For Mr. Cole.
Yes, go ahead. That's all right. This Harvey, VP. Yes, go ahead.
All right, so I just want to make some points. So the first thing is the delivery of the content. I see the questions on the concern, wondering what will happen with one group when another group is at school. So what I want to point out, parents, I just want to clarify that there are certain topics and there are certain concepts that have been very difficult for the teachers to teach online. They have done it last year, but it takes a little bit more, and the students may have a problem, processing. So what is going to happen is that the child, if your child is in group A or B, believe it or not, the teacher is going to basically be teaching the same thing 2 days in a row. I know it's a little stressful for the teachers and they know that. So your child will not miss out if they are not in group A. So group A and group B will be exposed to the same content. What will happen though is that the teacher will use this time face-to-face to drive home those concepts that may have been a problem for them. So when they do that on the face-to-face day, they will be giving your children who are at home some work that will match what is being done or in preparation for what they will get when they come face-to-face. So in short, the children will not be shortchanged. The children will not miss out because they are not there on 2 days. Yes, the ideal thing would be to stream it, because if we did that, the teacher will only have to teach a concept once, but the internet connectivity will give a problem where that is concerned. So that is for the delivery of the content. The other thing is the group assignment. Now, the teachers are going to be sending out the groups after the meeting or by tomorrow. You can look and see if your child is in group A and group B, because some persons may have two students in 2 different classes there. So what will happen is that when you get your list, you can reach out to the teacher and say, teacher, my daughter in grade 1 is in group B, but my daughter in grade 5 is in group A. Is there any way that you could facilitate them being in the same group so that when the time comes, if that happens, that they come to school on the same day? So that is something that you can look out for and dialogue with your teacher when it comes on to the groups being sent out. All right, WhatsApp groups. Now, a lot of parents are not in the WhatsApp groups. How do I know that? I had a very rough day today and yesterday, persons asking questions that the teachers would have placed in the groups. Parents, if your number has changed that you had before, you have to give the teacher this new number. You can't miss out being in the group. Why? I want you to listen to this very carefully. In the past, when the teacher is not there or something happens, we would share the children. We say, all right, 10 of you go over to this class, 10 of you go over to that class. That cannot happen in the COVID. That cannot happen. The class are specific. So what is going to happen is that you have to watch your child's WhatsApp group, even the morning before you send out the children, to see if there are any updates. Because, for example, if a teacher should be sick or ill or something should happen, your students, your children might be asked not to come in for that particular day. So I'm going to ask you to get the teacher the number that you have, that right number that you have, and ensure that you keep abreast with the WhatsApp, the messages that are there, so that you can know if there are any changes, because changes can happen. This COVID thing is quite liquid fluid, as we normally say, because even though we have planned ahead, anything can happen and we have to change. So how do we continue to correspond with you, parents? We continue to correspond with you through the WhatsApp group. So I'm encouraging you, check the WhatsApp group, 8 o'clock, check it in the morning after 7 to 8 to ensure that everything is on stream. If there's an issue, we're going to say X, Y, and Z so that you can know that, because we cannot share the children, that your child or your student, and it will be something official, it's been asked not to come out today because of X reason or Y reason. All right. So those are my points, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Harvey. Thank you for those clarifications. We have, I think I'm saying 3 more persons. Can we take
Yes,
those?
sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. And we have just a few more questions in the chat.
All right. We'll take those as quickly as possible. Yes.
Yes, sir. I just want to reiterate something that Mrs. Tucker said in the chat, just in case a parent did not see that message. If your child is ill, your child should not be at school. If they have any flu-like symptoms, do not send them to school, right? Additionally, if you receive a call that there is something that requires medical attention and you need to pick up your child, we're going to encourage you to do so. As you may be aware, COVID patients are at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, and so it may be best for you to take the child to the doctor. All right. So if you do get a call, please make every effort to have your child picked up from school if it is required. We have just a few more questions. One parent is asking if there is any preparation being made for volunteers to help with the sanitization process.
We can, and I'm happy that someone is actually asking about this, and I welcome that. I'll ask you to get in touch with us at the school. You can speak directly to Mrs. Simpson, our vice principal, and we will be happy to welcome you, because we do need the assistance, and I really applaud you for this, especially during this time. Thank you so much for that.
Yes, sir. There's another question here on YouTube about the earliest time that a child can arrive at the school in the mornings.
The gate opens at 8:30, so it's a crunch for time. We're going to try to be very specific where this is concerned. The gate opens at 8:30, and then the students will be allowed to transition. Parents, the teachers will be at school around 10 minutes before the start of school to welcome the students for 8:30. Before that time, there would be no one who is going to be available to supervise them. So you want to plan your schedule in terms of getting them to school in such a way that they get to school at 8:30, or about 5 minutes to that period of time.
There's one person asking about getting a device for their child, and another parent is saying that they had received a tablet because their child is a PATH beneficiary. However, the tablet is no longer working, and they're asking about getting another one.
I'm sorry, no, you won't be able to get another one, and sorry that one is not working. There are still a number of students who we have who have not yet benefited from a tablet, and so if we do get more devices, those students would be the priority because they would not have benefited before. So there's no provision at this point for persons who have received a tablet before to get a second one.
And for those persons who are just joining, you can check the school's YouTube channel because most, if not all, of the questions that are coming in now would have already been addressed.
Right.
Next is Keda.
Okay, Keda, go ahead. Keda, go ahead.
Good afternoon. I would like to know, for the student who don't have their belt or their course disease, will the belt or the course be scored at the office?
I'm sorry, Keda, I'm not hearing you clearly.
Yeah, hear me?
I'm hearing you much better now. Go ahead.
I was asking for the belt and the crest. Will they be scored at the office?
Oh, but the school does not sell the belt, but we sell the crest and the ties. But the belt is not sold by the school.
Okay, sir. So how much for the crest and the belt?
All right, just check the chat, Keda, because it has been answered a few times, and you will see the cost there. I think it's at $250. Okay.
Sir, I have another question. What
All right,
about
go
the
ahead.
student?
Go ahead.
What about the student who don't like to wear a mask all day, right? What would happen to them?
Well, I don't think any of us like to wear the mask, though, Keda. I personally don't like to wear it, but I understand that it is a necessity to keep myself safe and to protect others. And so I have a personal responsibility to use this apparatus to protect myself and to protect others. So given the situation that we're in, yes, we don't like it, but it's something that is required. And that is how we have to look at it. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Tawana? Yeah, that's Tawana, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Tawana.
Yes, sir. There was a question that I had intended to ask, but I forgot. I am living in St. Mary. Well, my child is now living in St. Mary with me since the corona, and I went to another school to get her in and so on, but she didn't want to leave St. Ansbury Primary. But I will be having an issue as it relates to taxi. So I wanted to know if there's anyone, listening through this medium that has any number for any taxi that carries children from the school to Ocho-Rios that could share the number with me, or any info on any taxi that traverse that route that carries children.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Thanks.
I hope somebody will be able to help you out. All right. Tawana. Yes, students don't want to leave. We have a rich program at St. Ansbury Primary, and we have excellent teachers. So yeah. All right, Micah is.
Hi, it's Mika, but that's okay.
You'll
Yes.
forgive me for that. Yes.
It's okay. Good evening, everyone. All right, so I actually just wanted to address, it's not a question.
Yes.
I want the parents to understand that the protocols that you yourself and the school is taking is necessary. We understand that we want to walk with the kids, we want to go into the classroom, we want to see be a part of that, but we can't do it because again, it's all about the safety of the children and the teachers. If we're to go in and everybody's there and the minute shows up at the gate and they're seeing that we're not following protocols, parents, what's to happen? They're gonna tell Mr. Cole, I hear what, you're not following the protocol, we're gonna have to take further actions in maybe shut down and start all over again. We want our kids out, we want them to go back to the regular face-to-face teach, but we have to understand that COVID is not going anywhere, and we just have to work with the school and the teachers and Mr. Cole and the ministry in understanding why they're taking these steps in order for us to ensure that our kids are always protected. When it comes on to the masks, I understand parents, our kids are not used to it, they've been home all day, every day without the mask. We have to teach our children to get used to it. No, we have to do that. Because we go every day, we go to work every day, we have to wear our masks every day at work. If we take off, what happened? They'll tell you to go home because you're not following protocol, not following rules. It's the same things that we need to teach our children. So please work with our teachers, with our principal, because a lot of us, they're not even doing what Mr. Cole is doing. They're not putting out as much effort, but he's doing that to make sure that our kids are getting the time in school to the face-to-face learning. Just as our vice principal shared topics that the children are not getting over the face-to-face medium, and they're willing to do it with the teachers in the classroom, so our kids are learning and they're getting the education that they need. So parents, I'm asked please to work with the school, understand, and just think about it, why they have to take these steps in order for us to have our kids going to school at the times that they have to show up school. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Well, you have said a lot and you have said it well. So thank you so much for your contributions.
No problem.
Antoine, go ahead. All right, I think, yeah, go ahead, Antoine.
Mr. Cole.
Hi.
Yeah, Happy New Year and
Good to you.
yes, and to all your staff and
Thank
students.
you.
I would like to and the group to volunteer this sanitizing.
Oh, great. So thank you. So we will make the connection and try to make the appropriate arrangements for that. And we appreciate that so much. Thank you so much.
Can I take with me a gallon of bleach and a gallon of liquid soap?
Of course you can. Yes. Thank you so much.
But you're welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. I love it.
Yes,
I love it. Thank you. This is a partnership. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, okay.
All right, Miss Thomas, are we still have more persons?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't know how many more I can take, but go ahead. Let me try.
And Chrisani.
Yes, let me try.
Sansia and Chrisani. All right.
All right.
Jardine, mommy.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Just a little. I have some uniforms that are size 8 khaki. They are second hand. So if there is any parent out there who needs, it's about 4 or 5 of them. So they can have those. They are in good condition, very good conditions.
We know because you wouldn't offer them. You wouldn't offer them if they weren't.
Yes.
Yeah, so
okay.
Touch base with Miss Thomas or Mrs. Grant Gray.
Okay.
Guidance counselors?
Yes.
Yes, touch base and thank you so much, Jardine, mommy. Why you name
Okay.
the safe like that?
Okay,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Next, we have Mrs. Harrison. And for those persons who need to reach out to me, I am putting my number in the chat so that you can write it down.
Okay, good. Mrs. Harrison, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Cole, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
And to your wonderful staff.
Thank you so much.
I don't have a question. I am here just to congratulate you. I lift my hats off to you and your team for the wonderful and tremendous job that you guys are doing for the safety of our children. So when I'm coming in, is it possible I can bring some sanitizer and whatever I can bring and towel and all of that?
Oh my gosh. Wow. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel blessed. Thank you so much. And I'm humbled. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ms. Thomas, we have.
Yes, sir.
Terry.
Tanisa.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She was saying she was unable to unmute. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Sansia. Please unmute.
All right. We may have lost her or.
Yes, sir.
All right. So thank you so much, parents. I don't think we have any more questions. I thank the teachers as well. The teachers have been working the chat, answering, responding to the questions and concerns that you have. Just to remind you that we will share the class list with you through the WhatsApp groups, and you will also have the schedule so that you can be ably guided in terms of the days when your child will be at school. We look forward to seeing the children. All hands on deck. We will do as much as we possibly can for their safety and for the safety of the staff as well. And we're asking you to play your part as you have been doing. We can boast that we have indeed a wonderful group of parents at St. Anne's Primary School, and we are happy to serve you, especially in this time when education is so important. Thank you, parents. Thank you, teachers, Vice Principal, Ms. Thomas and Mrs. Perkins, always assisting, Mrs. Tucker and others who have been working the chat. Thank you so much. Keep safe, everybody. Take vitamins and sleep and drink water and eat and rest. And let's pray for each other and continue to be safe. Have a great evening, everybody. And thank you.